Summary of Atomic Habits by James Clear. Introduction. The Power of Small Changes. Atomic Habits by James Clear is a transformative guide to building good habits and breaking bad ones through small, incremental changes. Clear argues that massive success does not come from dramatic actions but from the cumulative effect of tiny adjustments made consistently over time. The term atomic refers to habits that are small, like atoms, foundational, and capable of generating explosive results when compounded. Clear begins with a personal anecdote about a life-changing injury during his high school baseball career. A severe head injury left him struggling to regain basic functions, but through small, deliberate habits, he rebuilt his life and achieved remarkable success as an athlete, writer, and entrepreneur. This experience underpins his philosophy. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. A 1% improvement each day leads to exponential growth over time, while small setbacks can compound into significant losses if unchecked. The book's central thesis is that habits are the building blocks of our lives. By focusing on systems, consistent processes, rather than goals, we can create lasting change. Clear emphasizes that habits are not about achieving a single outcome but about becoming the type of person who consistently makes positive choices. Part 1. The Fundamentals of Habits. Why habits matter. Habits are automatic behaviors that shape our daily lives. Clear defines a habit as a routine or behavior performed regularly, often unconsciously. They are the brain's way of saving energy by automating repetitive tasks. According to research cited in the book, nearly 40 to 50% of our actions are habitual, meaning that small changes in habits can lead to profound shifts in outcomes. Clear introduces the concept of the aggregation of marginal gains, borrowed from British cycling coach Dave Brailsford. By improving every aspect of cycling performance by just 1%, Brailsford's team achieved unprecedented success. Similarly, small habit changes, reading a page a day, walking for 5 minutes, or writing a single sentence, can accumulate into life-altering results. The compound effect. The power of habits lies in their compounding effect. Clear illustrates this with a mathematical analogy. Improving by 1% daily for a year results in being 37 times better. 1.0365 Conversely, declining by 1% daily leads to near zero progress. 0.9965 This principle applies to all areas of life, health, wealth, relationships, and personal growth. However, Clear warns that the effects of habits are not immediately visible. He describes the plateau of latent potential, where early efforts seem to yield little progress until a critical threshold is crossed, leading to exponential results. This lag between effort and reward explains why many people abandon habits prematurely. To succeed, one must trust the process and focus on consistency. Systems versus goals. Clear challenges the conventional focus on goals, arguing that they are fleeting and often lead to temporary change. Goals are about outcomes, e.g., losing 10 pounds, while systems are about processes, e.g., eating healthy daily. Systems are more reliable because they focus on who you are becoming rather than what you want to achieve. For example, instead of aiming to write a book, Focus on becoming a writer by writing daily. This shift in perspective, prioritizing identity over outcomes, is a recurring theme. Clear suggests that true behavior change starts with adopting the identity of the person you want to be. For instance, instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, say, I am a runner, and act accordingly by running regularly. Part 2. The Habit Loop. Clear introduces the habit loop, a neurological framework that explains how habits form and persist. Based on Charles Duhigg's work in The Power of Habit, the loop consists of 4 stages: cue, craving, response, and reward. Understanding this loop is crucial for creating and breaking habits. Cue, a trigger that initiates the habit. It could be a time of day, a location, an emotion, or an event, e.g., seeing a notification on your phone. Craving, the motivational force behind the habit. It's the desire for the reward the habit provides, e.g., the dopamine hit from checking social media. Response, the actual behavior or action, e.g., scrolling through your phone. Reward, the benefit gained from the behavior, which reinforces the habit, e.g., feeling entertained or informed. Habits form when this loop is repeated consistently, strengthening neural pathways in the brain. To build good habits or break bad ones, Clear suggests manipulating the components of the habit loop using his 4 laws of behavior change. Part 3. The 4 laws of behavior change. Clear's 4 laws provide a practical framework for habit formation and dissolution. Each law corresponds to a stage of the habit loop and can be inverted to break bad habits. First law, make it obvious, cue. To build a habit, the cue must be clear and noticeable. Clear suggests strategies like habit stacking, where a new habit is paired with an existing one. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 1 minute. This leverages an established cue, brushing teeth, to trigger the new behavior, meditating. Another technique is environment design. By altering your surroundings, you can make good habits easier and bad habits harder. For instance, keeping a water bottle on your desk encourages hydration, while hiding junk food reduces temptation. Clear emphasizes that environment often shapes behavior more than willpower. To break bad habits, invert the first law, make it invisible. Reduce exposure to cues that trigger unwanted behaviors. For example, turn off phone notifications to avoid mindless scrolling or remove unhealthy snacks from your kitchen. Second law, make it attractive, craving. The more appealing a habit is, the more likely you are to do it. Clear suggests temptation bundling, where a desired activity is paired with a habit you need to do. For example, listen to your favorite podcast only while exercising. This makes the habit more enticing. Dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, plays a key role in cravings. Clear explains that anticipation of a reward, not just the reward itself, drives behavior. To make habits attractive, focus on the benefits they provide, such as feeling energized after a workout or proud after completing a task. To break bad habits, invert the second law, make it unattractive. Reframe the habit by highlighting its downsides. For instance, instead of viewing smoking as relaxing, see it as harmful to your health and finances. This shift in perspective reduces the habit's appeal. Third law, make it easy. Response. The easier a habit is to perform, the more likely it will stick. Clear advocates the 2-minute rule. Scale down habits to a 2-minute version to overcome procrastination. For example, write a novel becomes write for 2 minutes, and run a marathon becomes put on running shoes. Starting small builds momentum. Clear also emphasizes reducing friction. Make good habits as effortless as possible by preparing in advance, e.g., laying out workout clothes the night before. Conversely, increase friction for bad habits, e.g., unplugging the TV to discourage binge watching. To break bad habits, invert the third law. Make it difficult. Add obstacles to unwanted behaviors. For example, store cigarettes in a hard-to-reach place or log out of social media to make access less convenient. Fourth law, make it satisfying. Reward. Habits stick when they feel rewarding. Clear suggests using immediate rewards to reinforce good habits, as the human brain prioritizes instant gratification. For example, treat yourself to a small indulgence after completing a workout or track your progress in a habit tracker for a sense of accomplishment. Clear introduces the concept of habit tracking, which makes progress visible and satisfying. Marking an X on a calendar for each day you complete a habit, e.g., the Seinfeld strategy, creates a visual cue of consistency, motivating you to keep going. To break bad habits, invert the fourth law. Make it unsatisfying. Make the consequences of bad habits immediate and painful. For example, use an accountability partner or a commitment device, like donating money to a cause you dislike if you fail to follow through. Part 4. Advanced Strategies for Habit Success. The role of identity. Clear emphasizes that lasting change requires aligning habits with your identity. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, focus on who you want to become. For example, instead of aiming to read a book, adopt the identity of a reader by reading daily. This shift creates a feedback loop. Your habits reinforce your identity, and your identity drives your habits. To adopt a new identity, start with small actions that provide evidence of who you are. For instance, doing one push-up is evidence of being a fit person. Over time, these small actions compound, solidifying the new identity. The importance of consistency. Consistency is the cornerstone of habit formation. Clear advises never missing twice. If you skip a habit once, get back on track immediately to avoid a downward spiral. He also warns against perfectionism, which can derail progress. It's better to do a habit imperfectly than to skip it entirely. Clear introduces the concept of the Goldilocks rule. Habits are most sustainable when they are challenging but not overwhelming. Tasks that are too easy bore us, while those that are too hard discourage us. Find the just right level of difficulty to stay motivated. Tracking and measuring progress. Habit tracking is a powerful tool for maintaining accountability. Clear suggests using tools like journals, apps, or calendars to monitor progress. However, he cautions against becoming obsessed with metrics, as they can distract from the bigger picture. The goal is to focus on the process, not just the numbers. The role of community. Our social environment influences our habits. Clear advices surrounding yourself with people who embody the habits you want to adopt. For example, joining a fitness group makes exercise more likely, as you're influenced by the group's norms. Similarly, avoid environments that reinforce bad habits. Accountability partners can also boost habit success. Sharing your goals with someone else creates external pressure to follow through. Clear suggests formalizing this with a habit contract, where you commit to a behavior and face consequences for failing. Overcoming plateaus. As habits become routine, progress may slow, leading to boredom or frustration. Clear recommends embracing deliberate practice to keep improving. This involves focusing on weaknesses, seeking feedback, and pushing beyond your comfort zone. He also suggests experimenting with habit variations to maintain engagement. For example, if you're a runner, try new routes or intervals to keep the habit fresh. The key is to balance consistency with novelty. Part 5. Breaking bad habits. Breaking bad habits requires understanding their triggers and replacing them with positive alternatives. Clear suggests identifying the cue, craving, and reward behind the habit. For example, if stress, cue, leads to snacking, response, for comfort, reward, replace snacking with a healthier response, like deep breathing, that satisfies the same craving. Awareness is critical. Clear recommends the pointing and calling technique, where you verbalize your actions to make unconscious habits conscious. For instance, saying, "I'm about to check my phone because I'm bored," forces you to confront the behavior and choose differently. Mindfulness also helps. By pausing to observe your thoughts and cravings, you can interrupt the habit loop before acting. Over time, this weakens the neural pathways associated with the bad habit. Part 6. Applying atomic habits to different areas of life. Clear provides practical examples of how to apply his principles to various domains. Health and fitness. Start with small actions, e.g., one push-up. Design your environment, e.g., keep healthy food visible, and track progress, e.g., log workouts. Productivity. Use habit stacking, e.g., after I sit at my desk, I will write for 5 minutes. Eliminate distractions, e.g., silence your phone, and focus on systems, e.g., daily planning. Relationships. Build habits of connection, e.g., call a friend weekly, make it easy, e.g., schedule regular meetups, and reinforce with rewards, e.g., enjoy shared activities. Finances. Automate good habits, e.g., set up auto savings, make bad habits hard, e.g., limit credit card access, and track spending for accountability. Part 7. Long-term habit maintenance. Sustaining habits over the long term requires flexibility and resilience. Clear advises periodic reflection to assess whether your habits align with your goals and identity. He suggests asking, "Does this habit help me become the person I want to be?" Life changes, such as moving, new jobs, or family responsibilities, can disrupt habits. Clear recommends creating if-then plans to anticipate challenges. For example, if I can't go to the gym, then I'll do a 10-minute home workout. Finally, Clear emphasizes patience. Habits take time to solidify, and setbacks are normal. The key is to focus on the long game, trusting that small, consistent actions will compound into extraordinary results. Conclusion: becoming 1% better every day. Atomic Habits is a blueprint for personal transformation through small, intentional changes. James Clear's core message is that you don't need to overhaul your life to achieve success. Just get 1% better each day. By understanding the habit loop, applying the 4 laws of behavior change, and aligning habits with your identity, you can create systems that lead to lasting progress. The book's strength lies in its practicality. Clear combines scientific research, real-world examples, and actionable strategies to make habit formation accessible to everyone. Whether you want to improve your health, productivity, or relationships, Atomic Habits offers a roadmap for becoming the best version of yourself, one small habit at a time.